Good afternoon and happy Saturday as we welcome you into VA Memorial Stadium here in Chillicothe for Division 6 District Final between the number 1 seeded Eastern Eagles taking on the number 4 seeded Huntington Huntsmen, along with Shane Combs. My name is Dewey Daly as we welcome you into this afternoon's broadcast. Shane, we've been looking forward to this one all week. Should be a fun one here.
Yeah,
in Division 6.
Really should be. Two teams that go about it pretty aggressive on the offensive side. Eastern comes in, your TVC hockey champion. We just watched the runner-up in that conference, Waterford, get a win, and Coach Stewart does such a good job. And they went through the one SVC team the other night. I know a lot of people felt like Eastern was quite a bit better than Adena, but I tried to warn people that with McGill on the mound that wasn't going to be an easy one for them, and McGill and Adena had given them everything they wanted. They get by that, and then on the Huntington side they kind of dominate Manchester. And I thought Huntington was built for this round because they have two really good pitchers, kind of a 1A, 1B, so to speak, throughout their career. And so I think Huntington's certainly in a position to play a really good game today and give themselves every chance.
The Eagles coming into this one, the number 1 seed in the district tournament in Division 6, a 21-6 record, 9-1 out of that TVC Hawking Conference, Shane, that you've talked about, and held to a pretty high regard. We've seen a team already today out of the TVC Hawking. We'll see Southern a bit later on taking on South Webster under head coach Chris Stewart. It's a very well-coached baseball team, 3-2 win this past Thursday over Adena.
Well, if you've watched this Eastern Mex team over the last 2 or 3 years, you're going to see a lot of familiar names. It's an older baseball team. Like you said, really well coached. They're really complete. Going to come at you in a lot of different ways. So going to present a lot of challenges to Huntington, but some of the things I think Huntington can withstand with the arm of Oyer on the mound today, and the ability offensively to put some pressure on the defense themselves.
And for the Huntsmen, the number 4 seed in the district tournament in Division 6, a 16-8 record, 7-7, finishing 4th in the Saddle Valley Conference under head coach Chad Carroll, now in his 2nd season, but in his 2nd stint at Huntington.
Yeah, they're a team that, throughout the year has always had a chance to win because they're always going to throw a pretty good arm at you. But now what's happened is they've started to evolve offensively a little bit. Coach Carroll's very aggressive by nature on the bases, and it all starts at the top of the order with Throckmorton and McDonald. If those two are able to get on, they're able to really, really go. If Eastern's able to keep those two particular guys off the bases, then offense can be a little bit more difficult for Huntington to play.
The Huntsmen have won 8 of their last 9 and 5 of their last 5. They did have a 7-6 win over Lucasville Valley, who we saw earlier on this week. Very well coached and a very talented team.
I think that was the game. I don't have it in front of me, so if I'm making this up, I apologize. Wasn't that the game where they were way up and Valley scored a bunch to tie it, and then Huntington had to come back and walk it off or whatever? So, yeah, really, really big win for Huntington.
And Huntington's Chad Carroll, co-coach of the year with Manchester's Trey Mead. Those two teams met on Thursday. Huntington got the best of the Greyhound. We mentioned Coach Chad Carroll in his 2nd season, but he's been here before. He's been the head coach of the Huntsmen in years past.
Yeah, Coach Carroll does an outstanding job. No stranger to the district level. Had his team here and back in what was the Division III levels at that point. And then he stepped away for a little while as his kids are getting a little older. Now he comes back and obviously doing a great job here over the last couple of years. And again, a great opportunity in front of them here this evening. I know you and I had an instant classic last year that didn't go their way, so I'm sure they're hungry to get back here and try again.
And for Eastern under head coach Chris Stewart, this is his 5th season as the head coach of the Eastern Eagles, although it's his 10th total as a head coach. He spent some time at Athens. He was an assistant from 2005 to 2012 under head coach Fred Gibson. And then from 2013 to 2017, he served as the head coach for the Athens Bulldogs. He's a 5-time district coach of the year, including this season. The 3-time district champion as well, winning with Athens in 2016 and 2017. Last year with Eastern, looking to make it back-to-back, and Reedsville are the Eagles.
Yeah, he's a terrific coach. He's really a fascinating guy to talk to. He and I spent about an hour together at the state clinic there a couple years back, just picking his brain, and just does such a good job. Attention to detail, obviously doing it at the bigger school of Athens, now doing a smaller school at Eastern. Just has some really good ideas in terms of building program, building community. Really a high character guy, and just does a super job, and his teams are so well coached.
And you mentioned just an interesting guy to talk to, a great guy to talk to and discuss the game of baseball. And he actually has his own Spotify podcast. I don't know if you've ever taken a listen to it, but it's him and Meg's Pat Martin, the Coaching Life podcast. It's on Spotify. They're up to 192 episodes now. It started off nearly six years ago. The first episode was July 29th of 2019. I believe he also teaches a podcasting class at OU, so just an all-around great guy.
Yeah, again, very interesting. He's interesting to talk to about the game and education just in terms of a whole, and the way you lead young people. And you spend some time around him, and you certainly understand why he's so successful and kind of getting people to come together to work for a common goal.
And for me personally, I've always enjoyed watching his teams because he's one of the more media-friendly guys. You ask him for stats and roster, he doesn't just send you that, but he'll send you the school's history and the tournament and everything like that. So somebody as a coach maybe you want to model after in terms of handling media requests and stuff like that, because he says he understands it and he wants his team to be covered, and he definitely provides stats, rosters, everything gladly, and it makes it a lot easier to talk about some of his players, and we'll start talking about them today as we get into the starting lineups for both teams. So obviously tournament time here, so the lower seeded team, the Huntington Huntsmen, will be up to bat in the visiting half of each inning. We'll go through their batting lineup now. It goes as follows: Seth Throckmorton, Junior McDonald, Matthew Jordan, Braden Elliott, Landon Lowry, Frankie Hirsch, Alex Long, Kevin Barr, and Andrew Oyer. Oyer going to be on the mound for the Huntsmen this afternoon as well on the season. For Oyer to be his 15th appearance, he's tossed 71 2/3 innings, a 5-6 record, a 2.54 ERA, and 64 strikeouts for Oyer.
Yeah, Andrew Oyer, the junior, he's been terrific. Like you said, you start rattling off stats. He's been durable. He's been dependable. Takes the ball just about every Monday, Friday. Pitches a lot of big games. He was knocking on the door of some really big games this year. Over the last couple of years, he's won a lot of games. I don't have last year in front of me. I want to say won 10 games last year. He's someone that can really give his team a chance to win, and that again, that's why I thought Huntington would travel so well come tournament time, is because when you have the 1A, 1B there on the mound, it's going to give you a great chance in both the semifinal and the final.
And for the Eastern Eagles, their lineup goes as follows. It's Ethan Edwards. He's on the mound. We'll get to his pitching statistics in a moment. The rest of the lineup: Aiden Wilhelm, Alex Collins, Caleb Abner, Rowan Gilmore, Brady Rockhold, Hunter Needs, Blaise Gilmore, and Lance Hensler. On the mound this season, Ethan Edwards, 5 appearances, 30 1/3 innings pitched, 4-0 record, 1.38 ERA, and 27 strikeouts.
Yeah, they used Brady Rockhold, the number 1 there in the Adena win in the semifinal. So Rockhold will move over to short today, and they'll go to Edwards. Again, very capable, been extremely efficient. Again, just an old group. You're not going to see this team make a lot of mistakes, and you're not going to see them rattle too much. It's an older group that's been there, done that, and again, well coached, and I think that's probably their biggest strength. For Huntington, I'll tell you, if anyone can put pressure on them, it'll be Huntington. If Huntington can get those top 2 guys in the lineup on, Coach Carroll coaches an extremely aggressive style of baseball, and that'll be something fun to watch here in this matchup.
So Shane, obviously we'll see Oyer in the bottom half of the inning, but pitching-wise, what can we expect to see from him?
Well, he's going to attack the zone. Again, you're not going to see him get too rattled. Extremely experienced. Going to throw a lot of strikes. Going to be pretty athletic on the mound in terms of fielding his position, holding runners, things like that. And I think just a quality start is what I would expect from him, giving this team a chance to win start to finish.
And obviously no national anthem prior to this game, as we had one prior to our 11 a.m. game. We've been here for quite a while. Like I said, last game, I got here at 8 a.m., so we're going on hour 8 here at the VA. But we've got one more on tap. South Webster and Southern coming up at 7 p.m. That's a Division 7 district final. 2 medal games here at the VA, and 2 more tomorrow at 2 and 5. The 2 o'clock game will be, I believe it is Green. And did we ever get a final on the other
last
game?
I heard they were
the
going
top
to the
of
10th inning. Let me see if I can help us locate that.
I believe it was White Oak and Miller were the two teams that were in the top of the 10th inning of that Division 7 district semifinal. Green already advancing to the district final earlier in the morning, but the 5 o'clock game tomorrow will be Southeastern and Waterford. We saw both of those teams advance in our previous 2 games here this afternoon at the BA.
We'll try to locate that final for you. That's certainly going to make for an interesting
It looks like
pitching situation.
White Oak won in 11 innings, 6-5.
Yes.
So Green and White Oak will be playing at 2 o'clock here at the VA tomorrow. We'll have that one live here on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
So if you're White Oak, you just pitch whoever's left, I guess.
11 innings in a district semi can definitely make the approach a bit more difficult heading into a district final, especially when it's more or less in less than 24 hours later.
Yeah, that's quite a challenge. But hey, you'd rather have that challenge and be in the district final than to have the challenge and not be there. So, Coach Veit's obviously not his first rodeo. He'll figure it out. He'll get the guys situated tonight, figure out which way they want to go, and they'll show up and play really well tomorrow.
Umpiring crew for us this afternoon behind the plate, it's David Karshner. Up the first base line, it's Justin Davis. And down the third base line, it's John Blanton. Scheduled to be a 4:20 start. Now 4:21. Looks like that's about what we're going to get. Once again, the due-up for the Huntsmen in their half of the first inning. Seth Throckmorton, Junior McDonald, and Matthew Jordan. The defensive alignment behind Ethan Edwards goes as follows in the outfield from left to right. It's Lance Hensler, Hunter Needs, and Lane Atha. I believe it's actually Lane Atha. I'll have to get that corrected here in a moment. In the infield from third to first, Alex Collins, Brady Rockhold, Aiden Wilhelm, and Rowan Gilmore. And behind the plate, it's Caleb Abner.
Edwards from the right side there. Again, not a real tall young man, but very athletic, quick, so he'll do a good job fielding his position. He'll also, a lot of the intangibles, holding runners, moves to first and second. High IQ on the baseball diamond, so he'll do all the little things, which could really come in and play against this Huntington team that, again, likes to force the action a little bit with some small ball stuff with the bunt and some base running and so forth.
So Ethan Edwards on to start the afternoon on the mound for the Eagles. His 6th appearance of the season. He has a 4-0 record, a 1.38 ERA. Averaging just around a strikeout per inning, 27 Ks and 30 1/3 innings pitched.
With all the weather we've had this year and them spreading it out, I saw where Rockhold has made 10 appearances, so as the number 1, Rockhold taking a lot of the starts probably a couple times a week, and Edwards filling in there in the middle.
So the senior shortstop Seth Throckmorton set to lead things off for the Huntsmen. 309 average, 5 doubles, 3 triples, does have a home run. He leads the team in extra base hits.
Young man's done a lot of winning, and this is true, Dewey, with every lineup. But the top 2 guys in this lineup are basically double leadoff men, and you've got to be able to keep them off base if you're Eastern.
So the Division 6 district final is underway here in Chillicothe. As Edwards misses off the outside corner, 1-0 on the way. And a called strike evens it up at 1-1. Seeing the crowd size slowly starting to tick up as the day goes on. 1-1 popped up. Right side, Gilmore giving chase, but he's not going to get there. It's into the Huntsman bullpen. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Throckmorton.
Able to work out in front now, ahead of them 1-2. Let's see what they decide to go with here with the speedy Throckmorton.
Throckmorton, a second-team all-district selection. Here's the 1-2.
Fastball just off the outside corner. So now at 2-2. Throckmorton a little bit more back in the count.
2-2 misses low. The count is full now to Throckmorton.
Yeah, two great takes there. The 1-2 fastball off the plate, the 2-2 curveball down.
Payoff on the way, and Throckmorton fouls it off.
Just what you'd expect from your senior leadoff man. Nice long at bat, give your dugout a chance to see a little bit of all the pitches.
Shane, you mentioned it. It's a Huntington team that was just a mere foot or two away from forcing extra innings in last year's district final. Extremely hungry to get back. 3-2 misses. Leadoff walk for the Huntsmen.
Yeah, great at bat. Again, these two at the top there with Throckmorton and McDonald. There's so many options. You know, you can use the run game here. You can use the bunt game. Obviously, McDonald's about a 400-plus hitter himself. You could just swing away, try to find a gap, and that's kind of what leaves you guessing as an opposing coach.
McDonald, a freshman, 364 average. He squares to bunt, pulled back in time, but a called strike.
Looked like Eastern was going to crash hard from the third base side. And again, with the athleticism of Edwards, trust him to get the first base side.
And time called in the box by McDonald.
That's a design long hold there from Edwards to see if McDonald will show his hands a little bit. Freshman does a good job of not showing anything in terms of the square or hitting away.
And Shane, what have you seen this season from Huntington, their typical approach when the leadoff man gets aboard?
Well, that's just it. Over the years, Coach Carroll would bunt, put a lot of pressure on you, and he'll still do that a lot, as he's shown bunt here. But with the talent of these two guys at the top, they have a lot of different options, so they can really leave you guessing. More times throughout the lineup, he'll probably bunt.
Throckmorton aboard with the leadoff walk. 2-1 to McDonald, fouled away. Matthew Jordan, the left fielder, on deck for Huntington. Two misses upstairs, back-to-back full counts for Ethan Edwards.
Edwards pretty quick to the plate there with that slide step down in the low ones. Kind of a tough battery to run on. 3-2-0. I could see him starting the runner. He did not there. Fouled off. And again, two great at-bats here from Throckmorton and McDonald to start the game.
13 pitches, nobody out for Edwards. Payoff on the way. Throckmorton takes off, hit and run. This one blooped into shallow right and will drop in for a base hit. Throckmorton goes first to third now on the throw. McDonald looks to go up to second, which he does. It's second and third, nobody out for Huntington.
I'll tell you what, they couldn't showcase more of what I was talking about than they have here in the first inning. Two great at-bats. Throckmorton gets on. McDonald's going to bunt, then he's not going to bunt. Then he forces a 3-2. Then they don't start the runner. Well, then that time they did start the runner, and he stops long enough to see the ball down, goes first to third. They miss the cutoff man, and the speed of McDonald moves up. So now Huntington really cooking, second and third, nobody out.
Now the senior left fielder, Matthew Jordan. Breaking ball, a called strike, 0-1. Jordan, 347 average, 4 doubles, 2 home runs, 18 RBI, tied for the most on the team.
Way ahead of him here. And again, the RBI spot. Huntington will do a lot of things with the bunt in these situations, but not as likely in this part of the order.
0-2, swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Edwards for the first out of the inning.
Well, great comeback from Edwards. He was able to get ahead of the hitter with the off speed. And then after the foul ball, he had him right where he wanted him. In the RBI spot, stretched him out a little bit. So now with one out, let's see what Huntington has in mind here.
Now the first baseman, Braden Elliott. And something early on, Shane, that you can notice a lot of tempo on the mound for Edwards. 0-1 chop to the left side. Collins comes on, looks home now to first. The throw is in time for the second out of the inning. Head first slide back into third. Throw gets away from Collins. McDonald comes home to score. It's 2-0 Huntington.
Well, really uncharacteristic of an Eastern team. They missed the cutoff man, which allowed McDonald to move up earlier in the inning. Then there, kind of an unneeded throw back. The speed of Throckmorton was going to create the run. You had the second out of the inning, and then they throw back over across the infield and kind of gift wrap the second run. So, again, Throckmorton and McDonald, just as they can do, put their team up 2-0. Good contact there from Elliott.
So an RBI ground out for Elliott. McDonald comes home to score on the throwing error. And with the bases empty, the catcher Landon Lowry. Second time today we've seen a South Valley Conference team go off for 2 runs in the opening inning. Southeastern a 2 spot against Sims Valley at 11 a.m. Oh, 2 to Lowry, grounded left side, gloved by the third baseman Collins on the move. Throw to first, gets away from Gilmore.
Good hustle down the line. Third base had a long way to go there. He made the throw, tried to set the feed, and the throw brings him off the bag a little bit.
Third baseman, number 10, Frank.
How'd they score that down here in the booth next to us?
I believe it was an E5.
Probably fair. Good throw would have definitely had him, so I think that's fair.
Now the third baseman, Frankie Hirsch. Hirsch, a sophomore, batting .250. Does have a couple of doubles, 9 RBI.
Huntington will mix a lot of old and young. As you get down to the middle bottom of the order, you'll see a little bit more youth, but certainly athletic and very talented.
0-1, swing and a miss. It's 0-2 to Hirsch. Oh-2 just misses at the top of the zone. It's 1-2. Oh-2, swing and a miss. Hirsch down on strikes. 2 Ks in the inning for Edwards, but a 2 spot for the Huntsmen. Home half of the first inning coming up here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place. And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Back here in Chillicothe, Huntington leading Eastern 2-0 after their half of the first inning. Andrew Oyer on the mound for the Huntsmen. Defensive alignment behind him in the outfield from left to right, Matthew Jordan, Junior McDonald, and Gabe Beardsley. In the infield from third to first, Frankie Hirsch, Seth Throckmorton, and Alex Long. Braden Elliott at first and Landon Lowry behind the plate. Kind of similar to the first inning we saw from Southeastern, Shane, in the sense that you get 2 runs early, then you have the guy you want on the mound in the home half of the inning.
Yeah, we talked about it there with Elliott and Oyer. You know, Elliott with the outstanding performance there against Manchester. Now you give away over to Oyer, 71 innings, and you look at the overall numbers, the ERA in the mid-twos, and just a lot of experience. Now, like anybody, I don't care how many times you pitch, you want to be able to settle in a little bit to the game. So the first inning's really important. I thought that's what happened to Edwards there. I thought Throckmorton and McDonald, the long at bats, and they were able to win. Throckmorton with the walk and McDonald with the kind of the fly ball hit to right center there. I thought that really helped Huntington spark a little bit. Let's see if Oyer can get off to a good start here now against Edwards and Wilhelm at the top of the lineup. Two guys that can do a little bit of the same for Coach Stewart and the Eagles.
So Edwards, Wilhelm, and Collins to do up for the Eagles. Edwards, a first-team all-district selection, .391 average on the season. Edwards also with 7 extra base hits, 5 doubles, 2 triples. Extra base hit is as dangerous as ever in this ballpark. One and one to Edwards.
Yeah, the first team all district, Edwards, just good all-around player, can do it in a lot of different ways.
Two-one grounded left side. The third baseman Hirsch across the diamond on to Elliott for the first out of the inning.
Good arm strength there. Had to range about a step to his arm side toward the line. Able to set the feet and turn it loose, and shows off a good arm to throw a strike to get the speedy Edwards.
Now the second baseman, Aiden Wilhelm. Another district honoree, district honorable mention. .364 average with 3 doubles.
You're working down in the zone, just a little bit below the knees here early in the inning, but you certainly take that if you're Coach Carroll.
Sawyer catches the outside corner. It's 1-1.
His battery mate Lowry does a nice job back behind the dish.
Only the second strike of the at-bat. Saw a premature strike 3 call earlier in the day. Now a premature around the horn for Lowry.
Maybe he just wanted to make sure Hirsch was awake down there.
One ball, 2 strikes to Aiden Wilhelm as Oyer comes home. This one found to the right side. Elliott giving chase, but runs out of room. Try the 1-2 again.
Throughout his career, I would probably say Oyer's a little bit of a slower worker. You know, we talked about some of the guys we've seen throughout want to get in this really quick tempo. Oyer's probably a notch slower than that, probably a little bit more.
One, 2 from Oyer.
Takes a little longer maybe to get the sign and just kind of look in and slows himself down a little bit.
Breaking ball up and in. It's 2-2. Two back up the middle. Coming in from center is McDonald. It falls in front of him. 1 out single for Wilhelm.
Tricky play here on the turf. McDonald coming in and able to hold up enough to keep ball in front there. That's one of those where if you're not careful and you get too aggressive in this ballpark, it turns into a home run.
Now the second team all-district selection, Alex Collins.
Reds fall 2-0 in Chicago today. after their win yesterday. They kind of wasted a pretty good outing from Ladola. I think he threw 6 shutout innings in that game today.
It's time called in the box. Not sure where the standings are now, but I know the Reds at one point, they probably are among the top still, I would assume, but probably lead the league in shutouts.
Oh, I'd say they have. I mean, you always are more locked in on the team you root for, but I can't imagine a team this early in the year being shut out 10 times.
Well, I remember after the Pittsburgh series, hearing they were tied with Pittsburgh and I think Colorado. So I'd say they're still up there with the Rockies and Pirates. As Chad Carroll emerges out of the dugout. The original call at the plate was no offer. They go down to first. Justin Davis says yes, it's 0-2. Oh, 0-2 to Collins. Right back up the middle, but it's caught by Oyer to first for the 1-3 double play. Instincts for Oyer. Gets the Huntsmen out of the inning. It's 2-0 after 1. Huntsmen half of the second inning when we return to Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new Pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. Huntington leading Eastern 2-0 after the first. As Alex Collins barrels up Andrew Oyer, but it's right back to the mound for the 1-3 double play for the Huntsmen to get out of the inning. Bottom third of the order due up for the Huntsmen: Alex Long, Kevin Barr, and Andrew Oyer. Long, a freshman, batting .255 this season. 2-0 to Long.
Yeah, bottom third of the order here for Huntington. See if you can't spark something for the top to have some RBI opportunity. 3-0 now, you assume he's taking all the way.
.30 finds the zone. It's 3-1. A breaking ball in there for a called strike. As Edwards fights back to make it a full count. Payoff on the way, right back up the middle, coming across the bag is Rockhold on to first to throw is in time as Gilmore stays on the bag, 1 away.
Job by Gilmore hanging in there. Keeping the foot on the bag there. Rockhold, the ball ended up taking him up the middle. Rockhold points across there to let his first baseman know he appreciates his effort, as Edwards does a nice job falling behind 3-0, coming all the way back and getting the out.
Now the 8-hole Kevin Barr lays down a bunt. It's ruled a dead ball, so we'll.
I think Coach Stewart's saying he came out of the box and it hit him. He should be out. They had the contact on the hitter right away. What Coach Stewart's asking about is did it get him outside of the box, which would make him a live runner there, and he's out at that point.
So David Karshner, Justin Davis, and John Blant will come together. As of now, a 0-1 count for Kevin Barr. And it appears it will stay that way.
Yeah, going over there to give the explanation to Coach Stewart.
On the season, Barr batting .200. No extra base hits, 3 RBI.
Be interesting to see if he comes back with the bunt.
Barr squares and it's bunted up the right side and foul. 0-2, is it a spot where you risk it and attempt to bunt again, or do you swing away?
Probably in this spot you're swinging away. If it was a sacrifice, maybe.
Oh, 2 in there, called strike 3. As Abner throws it back to Edwards, he wasn't looking, so it ends up in center field. Second strikeout for Edwards. It's now the pitcher, Andrew Oyer. Oyer, a ground ball to the left side coming from third as Collins spinning throw onto first is in time to retire the side. Three up, 3 down as the Huntsmen go down in order. Eagles half of the second when we return to Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Back here in Chillicothe, middle third due up for the Eagles. Caleb Abner, Rowan Gilmore, and Brady Rockgold. 1-2-3 home half of the first inning for the Eagles.
Oyer's pretty steady in that first inning, obviously aided by the double play, but a lot of that was his own doing. Coming down ready to field his position on the comebacker, and the line drive made for the easy double up there at first. And we talked about the importance of getting guys out to start the inning. Both these coaches will put so much pressure on you. If you're able to get the leadoff man retired, then it takes the coach out of the inning a little bit because there's just not as much you can do in the 1 out or 2 out spot in terms of trying to manufacture runs.
So the catcher, Caleb Abner, will lead things off for the Eagles. Abner, a second-team All-District selection, batting .414 with 5 doubles. Shane, what have you seen from Oyer so far?
Well, just so far, really, really steady. The mound presence is what always jumps out at me about this young man. If he is battling nerves early on, you wouldn't know it. He works slow. He doesn't get rushed. He's been all around the plate, using all of his pitches to this point. I think he's in a pretty good place early on for Coach Carroll.
1-1 to Abner. A breaking ball misses up and in. Sawyer fights back, evens it up at 2-2.
A lot of times you get that fast worker, you try to use some timeouts and some different things to break his rhythm. Oyer's kind of on the other extreme. He'll work a little slower on you.
2-2, swing and a miss. First strikeout for Oyer. One away in the second.
Got in on the hands and jammed him up a little bit. All made possible because you work ahead.
All week we've talked about how important it is to get ahead in the count.
No question.
Now the first baseman, Rowan Gilmore. Gilmore batting .400, does lead the team in doubles with 9. Also has a home run and 24 RBI.
See the umpire set up on the inside corner. I think Lowry's doing a pretty good job of framing that outside corner and really helping Oyer early on. He's done a nice job.
Is that something that, as a coach, you notice more and more often, is that umpires that are maybe offset one way or the other are more susceptible to frame jobs on the opposite corner?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's part of what you got to recognize as the more experienced you become at catcher.
One and one to Gilmore. Oyer now comes home. Low and away, it's 2-1. Do you feel like you see less and less umpires being offset due to that reason? Or is it about the same?
Yeah, that'd be more of a question for an umpire. I just notice it every now and then. Some of them will set more square. Others like to get on the one of the corners there. That ball's going to fall in front of McDonald for a hit.
Second hit of the day for Eastern. Now the shortstop, Brady Rockhold.
Said earlier, Rockhold, their number one pitcher. Had quite a year and really quite a career. Threw a nice game against Adena there in the semifinal I watched the other night.
I know that game wasn't closer than what you expected. You talked about how you expected that game to be very competitive.
Yeah.
But do you think it was closer than a lot of the people on the outside may have expected it to be?
I could see that. Again, maybe my SVC bias. I just understood what Austin McGill was going to give Adena. Like, anytime you throw that young man on the mound, Adena's got a chance to win. I don't care what the record is. And he did a super job, and what it came down to was a defensive mistake. They only allowed the one earned run, but Eastern was able to put some pressure on them and get a couple extra ones across, and that ended up being good enough.
0-2 to Rockhold, fouled on the third baseline. And that's something we talked about earlier on in the week during the Division 5 district semi games, was how a really good pitcher can make a sub-500 team much more than that one day out of the week.
No doubt about it. And even when their record is like a 4-4, they may be pitching against some of the best teams. Like, you take this young man Oyer here, if he loses to a Zane Trace 2-1 or whatever, like, just because you have some losses on your win-loss record doesn't always tell the story. Here he is. What's the stat sheet say? He's thrown up around the 70 innings, has an ERA 2.5. So, I mean, he obviously is going to give his team a chance more times than not.
Caught foul ball on the third strikes. That is a K for Andrew Oyer. Throw down to first. As Gilmore is back in safely, there's 2 down in the second. Second strikeout for Oyer. Now
down
the center fielder, Hunter
hole.
Needs.
So in a 7-hole with 2 outs here, you want to attack the strike zone early in the count.
Hirsch plays in at third. 0-1 misses. It's 1-1. Needs batting .309, has 6 doubles, 1 triple, driven in 21. Oyer delivers the 1-1. And it's interesting, plays like that. Obviously nothing came of it, but we saw something of it in the Southeastern Sims Valley game where umpires are just part of the field. We see there it gets tangled up in the feet a little bit, but we saw what could have been hypothetically a double play turn into pretty much an infield single for Sims Valley.
No doubt about it.
1-2 grounded to the right side. That's through for a base hit for Needs. Throw on to first, not in time. 2-out base knock for the center fielder, Hunter Needs.
That was a situation I was talking about in the first game. Off the bat, you think a hit, you go into your banana, and before you know it, the right fielder's charging on the turf, coming up throwing, and pretty athletic adjustment from Needs to recognize that the right fielder was coming there.
Bottom third of the order now with the 8-hole Blaze Gilmore. Gilmore goes the opposite way for a base hit. Rowan Gilmore holds up at third. Bases are loaded with 2 outs for the 9-hole left fielder, Lance Hensler. 3 singles in the inning for Eastern.
Big break for Huntington there. Just a situation where they had him pulled around to pull quite a bit. Went backside. Probably about 7 of the Eastern base runners that they score on that hit from second base. And just happened not to have a lot of speed out there at this point, so it's going to load it up, give Oyer a 2-out spot to get out of it.
Hensler, not your typical 9-hole, batting .333. The team leading 26 RBI.
When you start to get to the district final level, that whole 9-hole stuff kind of goes away. A lot of times the kid hitting 9-hole for some of these teams would not be hitting 9-hole for a lot of others.
0-1 right back up the middle. Across the middle. It's Throckmorton, and he steps on second for the 3rd out of the inning. Scoreless frame for Andrew Oyer. It's 2-0. Headed into the 3rd inning. We'll take a break. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie & Son Trucking. Willie & Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student-athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week, presented by Willie & Son Trucking, each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
Back here in Chillicothe, it's the top of the third inning. Top third of the order for the Huntsmen due up with Throckmorton, McDonald, and Jordan. As Edwards back out for what will be his third inning of work after a 1-2-3 top of the second inning.
Now again, we're faced with where Edwards was starting the game. We talked about Throckmorton and McDonald. If you're able to get these two guys out, you're able to really get this lineup in check. If not, then you're going to have a lot of problems on the base passes. You saw that in the first inning there.
Opening offer to Throckmorton, a cold strike, 0-1.
The way Oyer is settling in, boy, would Huntington like to add another run here.
As Edwards works ahead to Throckmorton, it's 0-2. Oh, 2 to right center. Needs giving chase, but he's not going to get there. It'll roll all the way to the wall. Throckmorton around second. It should be 3. Relay in from Rockhold. And a leadoff triple for Seth Throckmorton.
Yeah, 0-2 pitch, just catches a bunch of the plate. He just goes with it and drives it that way. Great job of the outfield going to get it off the bat. I thought he had a chance to score with the way he runs. It was a stand-up triple for sure. They did a good job of not letting it quite get all the way to the Ohio Health sign out there in the gap.
Now the center fielder, Junior McDonald. McDonald singled in the first, came around to score. The freshman now in a big RBI spot here in the third inning. Ground ball up the middle, knocked down by Brady Rockhold, but there's no throw. Huntsman lead 3-0.
Again, jump started by Throckmorton. McDonald at the top. The leadoff triple from Throckmorton. Ground ball in play with McDonald. Anytime McDonald hits a ground ball that's not right at an infielder, he's going to have a real good chance of beating it out. That young man gets down the line in a hurry.
Bunt laid down by Jordan off the mound. It's Edwards to first, 1 away. McDonald up to second.
Example what I'm talking about there in the pregame. Nobody out and you're having your 3-man bunt the guy over to second because, again, that's just how Huntington plays offense. They just – you're going to play for Coach Carroll. You got to be able to handle the bat, and you got to be able to be aggressive on the bases.
Now the first baseman, Braden Elliott, first pitch swinging to straightaway center. Hunter Needs brings it in. No tag from McDonald. There's 2 away in the third.
Good job of the pitcher, Edwards, being where he's supposed to be. As soon as that ball was lifted to center, he takes off sprinting to get in a backup spot at third base, gives himself a little depth. McDonald does a good job of bluffing on the catch to force the throw. Good baseball all the way around. Now it's a 2-out spot.
McDonald off from second. Edwards off the mound. Throw to third is in time for the third out of the inning.
That's the athleticism of Edwards on the mound. Well scouted there, understanding that McDonald, aggressive base stealer.
Huntsmen tack on another. It's 3-0 headed to the eastern half of the third inning here in Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
Bottom of the third inning back here at VA Memorial Stadium. Huntington leading Eastern 3-0. Andrew Oyer back out for what will be his third inning of work. Set to face the 1-2-3 of Eastern, Ethan Edwards, Aiden Wilhelm, and Alex Collins.
It's really been a Huntington recipe for success so far. Top of the order has been up twice. Throckmorton and McDonald have been in the middle of all the chaos, leading to 3 runs. Then on the defensive side, Oyer's been sharp. Eastern had, 3 hits last inning, but went station to station and left them loaded. So again, kind of got stuck in a part of the order where they don't run quite as well, which is not the norm. So far, so good for Huntington. Let's see if Eastern can get a spark here.
So Edwards 0 for 1, a ground out to third back in the first inning. Oh, 1 from Oyer popped up. Right side of the infield, Alex Long with the grab, 1 away.
Big out there, getting the lead man, especially when it's the actual leadoff hitter, Edwards.
Now the second baseman, Aiden Wilhelm, he singled in the first. Through 3 innings, the Eagles have out-hit the Huntsmen, just have not been able to bring anybody home. So your misses low and away, it's 1-1.
Oyer, a lot of experience, as I mentioned throughout, can kind of get really stubborn with this stuff, which is a good thing, especially if you come up against an aggressive lineup.
1-1 the opposite way and out of play. As Oyer works ahead 1-2.
You know, it's funny, even though baseball's not a time sport, there's something about playing ahead or playing behind. Even in baseball, you'll see the team playing behind get just a little bit more anxious, trying to make it up with one swing, and it's really hard to stay in the moment and play situational baseball.
1-2, Wilhelm fights it off.
Say by far the biggest crowd we've had to this point in the day, isn't it? Starting to fill up nice. Got a lot down the lines now. Beautiful day today. Got them out in the bleachers a little bit today, too.
Time called in the box by Wilhelm.
It's that timeout where you just don't want to get in the box so early against Oyer. He'll put you to sleep.
Breaking ball from Oyer popped up. Mask off for Lowry. Into foul ground, and he can't bring it in. Still 1-2 to the batter, Aiden Wilhelm.
Such a tough play for the catcher there. I'd always prefer the glove call off the mitt. You had two of your better athletes there, Oyer and Elliott, coming up on it. Love for one of them to take charge there. Let's see if Eastern can make that hurt here.
One-two popped up. Shallow center back onto the outfield grass is the second baseman, Alex Long. There's 2 down here in the third.
Nice job of Oyer picking his defense up after the miscue there. You come right back and get the fly ball, and 2 outs now, and you're able to break the top of the order up there a little bit, keeping those speed guys off base. That's been the biggest difference so far. Oyer's been able to keep Edwards and Wilhelm off base, where Throckmorton and McDonald have caused all kinds of chaos.
Opening offer to Collins finds the zone, 0-1. Oh, 1 fouled off as Oyer works ahead to Collins.
Once again, Oyer ahead here. Let's see what Oyer and Lowry have in mind, trying to extend the zone here on the 3-hole, hitting Collins.
Time called in the box by Collins.
Again, you'll see a little bit more of that, I think, as the day goes on. One thing you can do is you can get in the box a little bit later. A lot of times you get in there and hear the, as I said earlier this morning, when the umpire delivers the ball out to the pitcher, there's usually some sort of message involved there, so that's interesting. I always find that interesting when the umpire and the player discuss that. As a coach, sometimes you want to know what that discussion is.
One-two pitch to left center. That'll fall in for a 2-out single for Collins. Fifth hit of the day for Eastern.
Seems harmless enough, but if you weren't with us this morning, we had a 2-out. Well, that was a 2-out triple, I guess, by Pfeiffer of Southeastern. Led to, what was it, 5 runs?
7.
7 runs? 7. Yeah, you're right. 7. So.
I've seen some 2-out rallies today. I think Sims Valley followed that up with a 5-run, 2-out rally an inning or two later. Now the catcher, Caleb Abner, this one gets away from Lowry, but up the first base line, so Collins stays put.
Well, I go back to some things I've talked about. They've been able to keep some of the fastest Eagles off base, and I feel like Eastern is probably not as aggressive as I've seen them in the past. Plus, they're not getting guys on until about the 2-out spot, and that makes it a little more difficult to be aggressive. Play him slightly to pull. Quite a bit of space there on the backside.
1-1. This one gets past Lowry and to the backstop. Collins up to second. Two balls and 1 strike to Caleb Abner.
One other opportunity for Eastern here. You got a cleanup hitter, Abner in the box, ahead in the count, RBI spot. And again, a lot of times you'll see Oyer slow the pace even more in these situations. Good time to hit here. You expect to get a pretty good pitch to handle. Even though first base is open with a 3-0 lead, Oyer doesn't want to lose him.
3-1 and breaking ball, a called strike. The count is now full to Caleb Abner. Payoff pitch from Oyer. Popped foul. Abner staying alive here in the third inning.
See the confidence even in the 3-2 count. RBI spot to throw all of his pitches.
Three-two from Oyer, just misses. 2-out walk to Abner. First walk issued today for Oyer. Now the first baseman, Rowan Gilmore, he singled in the second. Mound visit now for Chad Carroll.
Coach Carroll asking for the time, had to wait for the batter runner to get to first base before you can signal everything dead, and he'll bring the whole infield in. Pivotal moment here. Again, we talked about it with the 2 outs. Seemed harmless when you're able to get the speedy Edwards and the speedy Wilhelm out. Now Collins with a single, Abner with a walk. Got the big slugger Gilmore up there. Chance to drive in some runs.
So 2 men aboard, 1 in scoring position, 2 down here in the third inning for Rowan Gilmore. First offering from Oyer misses. It's 1-0.
Trying to really watch Collins' secondary lead out there at second. Last inning, I thought that cost Eastern a run. I didn't think they had a real good secondary lead and a real good jump off the 2-out base hit to right field where Coach Stewart was forced to hold the runner. This time, Huntington seems to be leaving it a lot earlier.
1-0 chopped up the middle. Throckmorton goes to first for the third out of the inning. Eagles threaten, but another scoreless frame for Andrew Oyer. 3-0 after 3. Huntington half of the fourth inning when we return to Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at glocknercdjr@portsmouth.com.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow-Hio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. It's 3-0. Huntington leading Eastern in the top of the fourth inning. Five, six, seven due up for the Huntsmen with Landon Lowry, Frankie Hirsch, and Alex Long. So far, Ethan Edwards through 3 innings has allowed 3 runs, 3 hits, has a couple of strikeouts.
Number 8, catcher, Landon Lowry.
Probably the biggest surprise on their side would be some of the early defensive miscues and throwing to some of the wrong bases, but some of that credit goes to Huntington, particularly Throckmorton and McDonald. They can really put a lot of pressure on you.
It's the 1-0 popped up straightaway center. Hunter Needs giving chase, and he makes the grab. The ball kept on carrying to straightaway center. Loud out number 1 here in the 4th.
Third baseman, number 10, Frankie.
Yeah, that ball was hit pretty well with some pretty good carry to it. It's a long way out there in this ballpark.
Now the third baseman, Frankie Hirsch. Hirsch down on strikes to put a cap on the first inning. Batting .250 this season. This one chopped right back to the mound. Edwards gloves it. Strong throw into first, 2 away.
Athletic Edwards comes off the mound, fields the high chopper. Hirsch getting down the line. 2 quick outs. Again, Edwards trying to settle in here. You're able to get here, you might be able to split the top of that order a little bit. Remember the last time Throckmorton came up, he got the lead off the inning again.
The second baseman, Alex Long.
If you're tired Long here, now you'd force Huntington to bat next inning in the 8-9-1.
One ball and 2 strikes to Alex Long. Nobody on, 2 down here in the 4th inning. 1-2, swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Edwards, a 1-2-3 inning for the Eagles, their half of the 4th inning. Coming up when we return to Chillicothe, you're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par-Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par-Mar has it. Download the Par-Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par-Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium, bottom of the 4th inning. 6-7-8. Due up for the Eastern Eagles, Brady Rockhold, Hunter Needs, and Blaze Gilmore. The due up 2 for 3 the first time around. Rockhold a strikeout. Needs and Gilmore part of that 3 single second inning where everybody moved up 90 feet each time.
Even the bottom of the order here, pretty experienced group for Eastern. Looking for a spark on the offensive side. Had trouble getting guys on early in the inning. Although they have left 5 guys on base last 2 innings. On my notes, back in the second, they left bases loaded. Then the third there, they had two left on.
So the shortstop, Brady Rockhold, will lead things off for Chris Stewart and the Eastern Eagles. Scoreless through the first 3 innings, despite out-hitting the Huntsmen 5-3.
Rockhold, the first team all-district, as I highlighted earlier. A lot of that has to do with his pitching, but he's still a .305 hitter.
1-0 from Oyer popped up down the left field line. The shortstop Throckmorton giving chase, but he overruns it. Falls in for a foul ball. It's 1-1.
Yeah, great effort. Throckmorton, so athletic. Actually did overrun it. He had plenty to get it.
One more district final to cap off our quadruple header today. We see South Webster rolling in. They'll take on Southern at 7 p.m. Division 7 district final.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you please avoid hanging on the fence, we would appreciate it. Thank you.
One from Oyer finds the zone. 1-2 now to Rockhold.
You know, Oyer finds himself in a place he's been quite a bit today, which is ahead. 1-2 on Rockhold. Opens up just about all of his pitches here now at this point.
Oyer comes home with the 1-2. Breaking ball to left center. Jordan and McDonald giving chase. McDonald calls him off and brings it in.
Yeah, went with the big slow off speed. Left it out over the plate a little bit, but had Rockhold just off balance enough to not be able to hit it with great carry, and the athleticism of McDonald runs it down in the gap.
Now the center fielder, Hunter Needs. Needs and Gilmore, the man on deck with a pair of singles in the second inning. As Hirsch plays in up the third base line. Is there a fear of the bunt defensively for the Huntsmen, Shane?
Yeah, I think so, especially with the athleticism. There's probably about 7 spots in the order for Eastern where it's at least on your radar, 4 or 5 really high radar. I think the idea here is just trying to take it away. That might be a hair aggressive there, but again, on the turf, just trying to take away the cheap hit.
Three straight pitches out of the zone from Andrew Oyer. It's 3-0.
Want to be able to battle back here. Keep his speed off base.
4-pitch walk for Hunter Needs. Man aboard with 1 out for Blaze Gilmore.
Now this has been by far Coach Stewart's fastest lead runner. I mentioned the bases were loaded, and then I mentioned 2 guys on, but in both situations didn't quite have as much speed out in front, and it kind of forced them station to station. Now with 1 out and a little bit more speed on base, let's see if he pushes the run game a little bit more.
Needs has now reached safely in both plate appearances. Now Gilmore, first pitch swinging a chopper to Hirsch to second. And the Huntsmen cannot get the lead runner.
Yeah, he just didn't get there in time.
Hunter Needs beats the throw to second base. It's first and second. Nobody out for Lance Hensler.
Left fielder number 30, Lance Hensler.
There's going to be a bang-bang play anyway. I don't know if the second baseman was there on time, if they'd had him or not, but yet again, a couple Eagles on base here, only 1 out. Oyer's been able to pitch around everything to this point.
Hensler squares to bunt, pops it up. Drops right in between Lowry and Oyer. And Hensler's aboard with a bunt single. Bases are loaded with 1 out.
Well, I mean, I don't know that that's exactly how you draw it up in terms of the bunt, but they throw it out there and it falls in no man's land. Good read from the lead runner, Needs. Because again, off the bat, I wasn't sure. It looked to me like Lowry or Oyer going to have a chance.
So a mound visit now for Chad Carroll. The lineup turns over to Ethan Edwards at the top. Edwards 0 for 2 is grounded and flown out. The big RBI spot for the opposing pitcher Ducks on the pond with one out here in the fourth inning as they trail by 3 to Huntington. And Shane, regardless of what happens here, this is going to be one of the points we talk about in the postgame.
No question about it. By far the best opportunity for Eastern, because you have to top the order up with only one out, but you also have the most speed you've had in terms of the lead runner. So it's going to be very difficult to force out at the plate, and then Edwards is going to be very difficult to double play in the middle.
Edwards' first pitch swinging this one out of play. 0-1 to begin the at-bat for the Eagles' leadoff man. Oh, 1.
Main thing here is if you're Huntington, you got to make sure of an out. You'd love the opportunity to get a lead runner. You'd love the opportunity to double play, but you got to have the second out.
1-1 misses down and in. It's 2-1 to Edwards.
Edwards doing a little bit what he could to maybe see if he could wear that one a little bit, it looked like.
Whatever it takes in the district final.
No question.
2-1 from Oyer. Low and away, it's 3-1.
I just need a disciplined approach from your leadoff hitter here, way ahead. You want him to be able to sit on his favorite pitch.
Late time in the box for Edwards. And if you're Oyer, Shane, how do you approach this 3-1 pitch to Edwards?
I'm going to come right at him again. Trust my defense. Even if you give up a run, you want the second out.
3-1 misses out of the zone. The first run of the game comes in for the Eagles. It's 3-1. Bases loaded with one out.
Now the difference is here, you do have, from a speed standpoint, you do probably have a chance to come home on a force play if you want. Now the speed is more in the trail spots. If he happens to hit one through the infield, Huntington's got to make sure they keep the ball in front and hit the cut because you got a lot of speed back here on the backside.
Opening offer to Wilhelm is out of the zone. Wilhelm 1 for 2, singled back in the first inning. So far that first inning, the only frame that the Eagles have gone down in order. Corners in for Huntington. Fly ball to right field. Beardsley giving chase, but he's not going to get there. Gilmore in from third. Hensler from second. Throw to the plate. There will not be one. Head first slide from Hensler, and we're tied at 3.
Yeah, good piece of hitting. Just goes backside there. Finds some green. Scores 2 pretty easy. Moves Edwards over to third. Now you have great speed down at third. Still just one out. And Eastern's been able to tie it up. Now looking to go ahead.
2 RBI single for Aiden Wilhelm. He's now 2 for 3 today. Runners on second and third with just one out for Alex Collins.
Collins has to understand that he's got speed down at third base. Got to figure out a way to put this ball in play and give that speed a chance to score. If you're Oyer, again, you're not a big strikeout pitcher. Certainly could use one here.
Nice job by Lowry to keep it in front of him. It's 2-1.
Yeah, outstanding here in the last, I'd say 3 or 4 deliveries. I've seen a couple times Oyer maybe overdoing a little bit. maybe overthrowing just a little bit. Here's where you hope his experience. Coach Carroll, I believe, has already been out twice today. You hope this is where his experience can help him self-correct.
3 balls and 1 strike to Alex Collins. One Eastern run away from our first lead change in any district tournament game here at the VA so far. 3-1 right back up the middle. Edwards scores. Wilhelm around third. Relay to the plate is not in time. It's 5-3 Eastern.
Good piece of hitting. Goes right back up the middle with it. Coach Stewart never thought twice about it, waving all the way. Cut comes in to Elliott, who puts a strike right on the mitt there to Lowry, but the slide able to beat the throw, and all of a sudden now Eastern's come off the mat from 3 down to score 5 times here, and they're still batting with just 1 out.
Sixth consecutive Eagles have reached base safely. Back-to-back 2 RBI singles. Coach Carroll's going to go to Gabe Beardsley. Pitching change here in Chillicothe. We'll take a break. Come back with all of the defensive changes for the Huntsmen here in the 4th inning. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
So Gabe Beardsley into pitch for the Huntington Huntsmen. This will be his 6th appearance of the season. He's tossed 8 1/3 innings. 2-0 record. He's been efficient in the innings he's pitched, a .84 ERA with 9 strikeouts.
Yeah, terrific athlete. Throws the ball with a little bit of velocity. You know, Oyer was really good early there, and it just pitched around trouble, left the bases loaded in the 2nd, left 2 on there in the 3rd, now in the 4th. Like I said, I just felt like the difference was the bottom of the order was able to get some speed on, turn it over to the top of the order, and then you can really feel the momentum shift. And here's where Huntington's got to stay with it. Still a ton of baseball to play. Just 5-3. Got to be able to get out of this one.
The first lead change in 7 district tournament baseball games so far here in the postseason in Chillicothe. As Beardsley works ahead to Caleb Abner. Now back-to-back pitches out of the zone for Beardsley. It's 2-1.
Three-one count here. Let's see. Chooses to start the runner.
3-1 popped up. Right side down the line, Elliott giving chase, but he can't make the over-the-shoulder catch.
Again, great effort. Just such a tough play for the first baseman right over top of them. Much easier play for the second baseman going out to that glove reach or the right fielder coming in.
Defensively, just a straight flip. Zoyer off the mound and into right field. Beardsley comes in from right to pitch. The 3-2's fouled off by Abner. Six of the 9 batters in the lineup for Eastern with base hits. Abner, one of the 3 that remain hitless. 3-2 misses, rolls to the backstop.
First baseman number 30, Rowan Gilmore.
Yeah, Huntington with a chance to catch a fly ball, unable to do so. Extends the at-bat. Now they draw a walk. Runner back in scoring position, 1 out.
Now the 9th batter of the inning, Rowan Gilmore. One-0 ripped to left field over the extended arm of Hirsch. Down the left field line, Collins will score standing up. And it's 6-3. An RBI double for Rowan Gilmore.
Turns on it right down the line. Gets it down to the corner, and the lead runner there, was it Abner? He about halfway to third.
Collins.
Collins. He came up a little funny there. He about halfway to third. He kind of held up like he might have pulled something or turned something. Coach Stewart was checking on him there. Seems like he's okay.
Oh, are you talking about the player still on the base
still
path?
on third.
That would be Abner.
Yeah, he just seemed like he pulled up about halfway to third there.
First pitch swinging into left center field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Brady Rockhold brings another run home, and it's 7-3.
Abner coming home right there. That's the catcher. That'd be something to just keep an eye on. But yeah, Eastern just having a time of it here in the 4th inning.
Now the 11th batter of the inning, Hunter Needs. Needs has already walked this inning, come around to score.
Coach Carroll also has off the bench, he can go to Sean Davis. He's a junior who's thrown some innings for him at the varsity level.
Needs first pitch swinging straight away center. McDonald's makes the grab. Tagging from third is Gilmore. Relay to the plate is not in time. Gilmore across safely. Rockhold moves up to second base. And it's 8-3 Eastern.
Good situational hitting, lifts the fly ball fairly deep. Would have taken a perfect relay to have a chance.
Now the DH, Blaise Gilmore. An 8-run inning so far for the Eagles. So Beardsley works ahead to Gilmore, 0-1.
Good pitch on the outer half, gets him ahead here. Again, Huntington just trying to get out of the inning. Give themselves a chance to get back in the dugout and regroup.
8-9-1 due up for the Huntsmen in the top of the 5th. 1-2 from Beardsley, swing and a miss. 8-run inning for the Eagles. They lead Huntington 8-3 after 4. Top of the 5th when we come back to Chillicothe. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glow Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glow Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glow Fiber is here. Welcome to Glow Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLOW or visit glowfiber.com to switch today.
Back here in Chillicothe, it's 8-3. Eastern explodes for an 8-run 4th inning. Top of the 5th, 8-9-1 due up for the Huntsmen. Kevin Barr, Andrew Oyer, and Seth Throckmorton.
Looks like Davis might have a helmet and a bat on down there. I can't tell if they're going to utilize him in one of these spots. We'll just have to wait and see.
So Kevin Barr will lead things off for the Huntsmen.
Yeah, I think he went back in the dugout there.
So as of now, Barr, Oyer, and Throckmorton.
Huge spot here even for Huntington. You got the top of the order here in the hole. Starts with the base runner here.
As Edwards quickly works ahead to Barr, 0-2. 0-2 on the way. Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout for Edwards, 1 away here in the 5th.
Right fielder number 42, Andrew Oyer.
Well, a good start for Edwards. Yeah, your team scores 8 runs, you come right out throwing strikes. We've talked about that before. You want to keep the momentum. Quickest way to lose momentum is come out and not throw the ball to the plate.
Quick tempo on the mound for Edwards. 1-0 on the way. One popped up. Right side, Wilhelm moving out. It's Atha who comes in to make the grab, 2 away.
You see it in the body language of Edwards on the mound and the body language of the Eastern defenders. The stress of being down 3-0 on every pitch throughout some of these past innings. Now being up 8-3, a little bit more bounce in the step. Edwards working quickly.
Excuse me, swing for Throckmorton right to the second baseman. Wilhelm on to first. Huntsman retired in order. Bottom of the 5th coming up here in Chillicothe. 9-1-2 due up for the Eagles when we return from break. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. one very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. Recipe for success. Offensively put up 8 runs, follow it up with a 3-up, 3-down defensive inning. Now the bottom of the 5th, Eagles back to the plate. It's 9-1-2 with Lance Hensler, Ethan Edwards, and Aiden Wilhelm.
Yeah, Eastern just found all the momentum there in that home half of the 4th inning. They got a little spark from the middle to bottom of the order. And then once they turned it over to the top of the order, they were able to string some hits together with it. Able to run Oyer from the game and get into the Huntington pitching staff here a little bit, which, again, in these district final games, when you're already one pitcher down, it's a big, big factor as you get into these middle innings.
Laying out for Eastern, left fielder number 3, Lance Hensler.
So Lance Hensler, the team leader in RBI, will lead things off. As Gabe Beardsley remains in the game for the Huntsmen. Came in to relieve Oyer, got the final 2 outs last inning. 0-1, swing and a miss. As Beardsley works ahead to Hensler.
Talked about Beardsley when he was coming in last inning. Has a live fastball. Good athlete. Long, lanky young man that gives it's been a good athlete for Huntington here and had a nice basketball season.
One-two, swing and a miss. High fastball retires Hensler, 1 away in the 5th.
Good pitch there. Yeah, really, you look out across the diamond for Huntington, you see a lot of 2 and 3 sport athletes.
Pitcher number 4, Ethan Edwards.
Seems to be more prevalent when you make your way down divisions. A little less common once you get up towards the 4, 3, 2, and 1, but a little more common once you get into the 5, 6, and 7. Hard hit line drive off the glove of Throckmorton. No time for a throw, an infield single for Edwards, his first hit of the day.
Yeah, just great effort out there. Short, just missed time to jump just a little bit. Looked like it might have caught him a little bit down on the wrist. Able to knock it down, tried to stay with it.
Ironton, a 4-0 win over Menford down in Athens.
There's another example where I don't know how many of those kids off the football team, but kids who win have a way of winning. You know what I mean? Like they bring that to other sports, and now they're heading to the regional.
In about 6 minutes, the game that anybody who follows Southeast District baseball has had their eye on. It's the Valley and Wheelersburg rubber match. I believe both team with a 1-0 win over the other. I believe both aces are ready to roll down in Athens, so it should be a great way to wrap up the trilogy. Here's Throckmorton on the move. What a play for the second out of the inning. 6-3 put out for Throckmorton.
Yeah, athletic play, ranging in quite a bit, making the throw on the run.
Number 11, Alex Collins.
Get the second out. So even though the runner moves up, you do get the second out.
Now the third baseman, Alex Collins. He's 2 for 3, driven in a pair.
Yeah, gets another RBI spot here.
Fly ball to right field. Here's Oyer coming in and makes the basket catch. Scoreless frame for Beardsley. Faces 4 batters, allows 1 hit. Still an 8-3 ball game. Top of the 6th here in Chillicothe when we return. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio.
This broadcast is brought to you in part by Willie and Son Trucking. Willie and Son Trucking has been a proud supporter of local student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs throughout its history. Be sure to look out for the Shack Athlete of the Week presented by Willie and Son Trucking each week at sosaohio.com.
Since 1853, Tomlinson Insurance has been protecting families, farms, and businesses in our community. As an independent agency, we offer personalized coverage for your auto, home, farm, and business, plus health and life insurance too. And we proudly partner with Erie Insurance to give you peace of mind with reliable coverage at competitive rates. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call us today at 740-773-4181 or visit us at tomlinsonins.com.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. It's 8-3, Eastern leading Huntington in the top of the 6th inning. 2-3-4 due up for the Huntsmen. Junior McDonald, Matthew Jordan, and Braden Elliott. McDonald 2 for 2. Couple of singles for the freshman. He'll lead things off for the Huntsmen.
Yeah, we talked about the names escaping me. They're Ingles of Wellston the other night as a freshman. McDonald right there, that level of freshman. Some of the incoming rookies this year, they're just going to be outstanding players in our Southeast District. This young man's had a terrific freshman year.
Edwards back out for his 5th inning of work. 6th inning of work. It's allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, 4 strikeouts for Edwards. It's been working very quickly, the 1-1.
Getting in on the hands there a little bit. Now let's see if he'll move away on him.
1-2 right back up the middle. A 3-hit day for the rookie, Junior McDonald.
Yeah, he tried to go back out, just caught too much plate. And again, McDonald, just great plate coverage. Certainly never gets cheated up there. And normally with his speed, you'd really look for Coach Carroll to go. I know down 5 with only 6 outs to play with, it makes you stop and think, but you certainly need to get some runs here.
A trio of singles now for McDonald. Now the left fielder, Matthew Jordan. Tied for the team lead in RBI. As this one gets past Abner, McDonald up to second. Late throw from Abner.
Good read there, moves on up. Now RBI spot again. If you're Huntington, you don't have to get them all back here, but you certainly would like to put up a crooked number and try to get this thing to at least within 8-5, 8-6 this inning.
Breaking ball in on the hands. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jordan.
It's a big take there. Now 3-1, needing base runners. Got to be picky in the pitch selection here. It's the move he got McDonald on earlier in the game.
(3-1) misses low and away. 2 men aboard with nobody out for Braden Elliott.
Good opportunity here. Got one of your best bats at the plate. Good speed out at second. Nobody out.
Elliott tied with Jordan for the team lead in RBI, both with 18. 304 average for the senior, a couple of extra base hits, 1 double, 1 triple. It's Chris Stewart out to chat things over with Edwards and Abner.
You see how quick it can get away. We've witnessed that in 2 or 3 of the really big innings we've had over our 7-game coverage so far. So if you're Eastern here, the biggest reminder, remember Southeastern made this mistake earlier this morning. If you're Eastern right here, you need
both
out.
Runners take off and no throw. What an absolute.
Well, he went wind up. So he went wind up there, and the runners just recognized and moved up. So
absolutely great jumps for McDonald and Jordan, both in scoring position, nobody out. Now Elliott to left center, both outfielders giving chase. It's brought in by Needs. Tagging from third is McDonald. No throw to the plate. Jordan will stay put at second. And it's 8-4.
good swing there. You get a run out of it. You still got a guy out there at second base you'd like to get in, but really it's kind of twofold here, Dewey. I really look at this as much about just trying to win your spot and get base runners as much as you're trying to drive that guy in out there.
Elliott now, despite being 0 for 2, has driven in a couple of runs. Now the catcher, Landon Lowry. Above average lead at second by Jordan, as Lowry calls time in the box. Lowry 0 for 2, did reach base safely back in the first on an error. Now Lowry to straightaway center. Hunter Needs giving chase, but he's not going to get there. All the way to the wall. Jordan around third. He will score around second. Lowry looking for 3. No relay in from center. And an RBI triple with 1 out for Landon Lowry.
Another big swing from Lowry. Remember, he was the one earlier that hit the deep fly ball. They were able to run it down. That time he evidently put a little bit more into it and beats him this time. And so now Huntington refusing to go away, cuts the lead to 3, has another guy out there at third base, still 1 out. This thing could get really interesting.
Couple of batted balls that off the bat you may think are routine fly balls, but they continue to carry. A lot of high school fields that aren't 400, 410 to straightaway center. That could have left the ballpark.
No question. Didn't see the number if he was sprinting down to the bullpen there for Eastern. Might have been. Hate to guess. I didn't see it.
Now the third baseman, Frankie Hirsch.
Speaking of multi-sport athletes, Hirsch had a real breakout year. Obviously in football, he's done a nice job first 2 years. This year in basketball, I thought it was a real breakout year for him.
1-1 Hirsch. Fouls it off his foot, a dead ball. It's 1-2. Clearly Lowry was going on contact and more than likely had the run. The Huntsmen will now pinch run.
Your attention, please. Pinch running for the Huntsmen, number 4, Andrew McKnight.
So Andrew McKnight will pinch run for the Huntsmen.
Trying to make sure Hirsch is okay there. He must not have the Dick's Sporting Goods sponsor that so many players have today, with by the time they get their elbow guard and their foot guard and their Ellie mitts and their
thumb guard, visor.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the one thing I always rocked when I played was the flip-up glasses.
There you go, yeah.
Hirsch back into the box, the 1-2 grounded to the shortstop Rockhold. He'll go to the first for the second out of the inning. McKnight comes home to score. It's a 2-run ball game.
Good situational hitting. Get the ball into the middle of the field. If you're Eastern in that scenario, you'll probably trade the out for the run, although that does cut it to 8-6. Now this is a huge spot because you're down to the 4 outs, and basically what's going to happen here, the more spots for Huntington you can win, the closer you get to that top of the order for the 7th inning. This becomes a pretty big batter here.
The second baseman Long, he's 0 for 2. Hitters count now for Long, 2-0.
Let's see if he's taken till he gets a strike here.
Edwards working quickly, he's fallen behind, 3-0.
Good chance he's taking 2 pitches here. Again, you're just thinking base runner, base runner, base runner.
And a 4-pitch walk to Alex Long.
Looks like we're going to have Coach Carroll's going to go to his bench here again.
So Braden Smith on to pinch hit for Kevin Barr.
Pinch hitting for the Huntsmen, number 20, Braden Smith.
This is in the 8-hole. So you have Oyer on deck, and the top of the order in Throckmorton has now come to the hole. So again, Smith comes up here and is able to deliver. It would give Oyer quite an opportunity. And now all of a sudden Edwards having trouble throwing a strike.
Smith, the junior, just the 9th game he's played in this season. Big spot with a man aboard and 2 outs. Back-to-back pitches out of the zone as Long slides head first into second base.
Eastern telling the bullpen there to crank it up a little bit.
(2-0) to Smith. Edwards instead fakes the throw to second base. It's 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, good job there by Long out there at second. The last thing you want to do is make an out on the bases here.
2-0 out of the zone.
And again, now you're probably in a situation where you're definitely taking here. You may be taking a couple.
7 consecutive balls for Ethan Edwards.
If he loses him, Coach Stewart's got a tough decision to make here. He's going to go to the bullpen now or give him one more.
Smith fakes the bunt. So 3-0 finds the zone. It's 3-1. (3-1) a breaking ball. The count is full. 3-2. (3-2) pitch fouled off as Smith staying alive here in the 6th.
Great job by Smith. Again, he throws the 3-2 curveball for a strike. You foul it off and make him throw another pressure pitch. The pitch count's got to start to climb here on him as well.
88 pitches for Edwards, number 89 on the way. A chopper to the left side. And Long runs right into the tag. Blunder on the base paths for the Huntsmen. It's 8-6. They bring home 3. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Now here's a little Wendy's menu hack for you. If you want a super fresh, high-quality burger every time, just tell them you want a hamburger. And then they'll give you one right off the grill. Made for you, not waiting on you. No code words required. Every single hamburger, every single time. Okay, so that's not really a menu hack. When it's made fresh every time, gotta be Wendy's.
Mark. 6 months of training. 8 miles to go. A 3-way tie for almost last place.
You look good in these shorts, right?
And 3 years since he and his team at Ohio Health left cancer in the dust.
We welcome you back to VA Memorial Stadium. A 3-run top of the 6th. Shane has the Huntsmen right back in it. 4, 5, 6 due up for the Eastern in their half of the inning.
Yeah, great response from the Huntsmen there in their half of the 6th inning to get it cut to 8-6. Now you got to be able to throw strikes and make some plays here and keep it there and give what would be the top of your order pretty much, 9-1-2 coming up for Huntington in the 7th inning. So if you're Eastern, you'd love to add one here and then see if Coach Stewart's going to stay with Edwards. That's just coming up on about 90 pitches, you said. Or if he's going to go to the bullpen there to look for closer action.
Gabe Beardsley still on the mound for the Huntsmen. Scoreless frame an inning ago. Now the 1-0 to Caleb Abner. As it stands, Abner the only player in the starting 9 for Eastern without a base hit. 0 for 1 with a couple of walks.
Beardsley has not allowed a run in his own innings since coming on back there in the 4th, correct? So he's had a clean 5th, now trying to get a clean 6th.
One-two from Beardsley over the head of the shortstop, Seth Throckmorton, into left field. First base hit of the afternoon for Abner.
See if Coach Stewart's going to go to his bench here for some speed. See if he can manufacture an insurance run. Remember, we talked about Abner earlier. I didn't think was running very well, even coming off the field there. I don't know if he's 100%.
Parker Durst will pinch run for Abner. Now the first baseman, Rowan Gilmore. He's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Called strike, 0-2 to Gilmore.
Way ahead now, 0-2.
Durst takes off from first, swing and a miss at the plate. Lowry's throwdown is not in time. Second strikeout for Gabe Beardsley.
Big strikeout. Good jump there again. Coach Stewart getting some speed off his bench. Big stolen base. Moves into scoring position now. See if Rockhold can play a little add-on.
Beardsley now falling behind to Brady Rockhold, 2-0. Rockhold 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the fourth. So 2-0 popped up and out of play.
Such a big spot here. The 8-6 compared to 9-6 going in that seventh inning is going to be a much different situation.
Beardsley now fights back, evens it up at 2-2.
Good speed out there at second. Here's where Rockhold's got to shorten up and get this ball in play.
2 from 2 popped up straight away center. It's Junior McDonald for the put out, 2 away.
Good contact, just trying to go backside, just hits it up in the air there a little bit. And
now the center fielder, Hunter Needs. He's 1 for 1 with an RBI. Also walked and had a sac fly. Needs first pitch swinging, pops it up. And out of play, 0-1. Oh, 1 to right field. Oh, you're giving chase, but he's not going to get there. All the way to the wall. Durst comes home to score. Needs looking for 3. No relay in from right. And it's a 2-out RBI triple for Hunter Needs.
big time swing there. Maybe catches Huntington off a little bit with the pop, and that bat really turned on one and hit it a long way, and now still down there at third. Chance to add on even a little bit more.
Now the DH, Blaise Gilmore, he's 1 for 3. Beardsley works ahead, 0-2.
Tried to go away, missed just a little up off the plate there a little bit. Still ahead in the count. See if he stays out there.
One, two up the middle. McDonald coming in from center to make the grab for the final out of the inning. The Eagles tack on another. They lead by 3, headed into the 7th. Huntsmen down to their final 3 outs. You're watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Hey everyone, Mike Glockner.
I'm Brandon Callahan.
Of the all-new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Service Center in Portsmouth, Ohio. We have a $39.95 oil change special going on right now. That includes a free tire rotation and free multi-point inspection. Schedule your appointment online at GlocknerCDJR@Portsmouth.com.
Glo Fiber is now in Ohio. And with gig speed fiber internet, we're keeping things real. As in real reliable speeds. Real people who really want to talk to you. Not to mention, real simple pricing. Switch to Glo Fiber today to get real fast, real reliable fiber internet and your first month free. Glo Fiber is here. Welcome to Glo Ohio. Call 1-833-WANT-GLO or visit glofiber.com to switch today.
Top of the 7th. Here in Chillicothe, it's 9-1-2 for the Huntsmen. Andrew Oyer, Seth Throckmorton, and Junior McDonald, the do-up for Chad Carroll and Huntington. As it stands, Ethan Edwards will remain on the mound.
Leading off for the Huntsmen, bench hitter number 37, Sean Davis.
Sean Davis is going to hit in that 9-hole.
Davis with 16 games played, 200 average. In the spot of Andrew Oyer, who was 0 for 2.
Always starts with a called strike, and he's able to get one there.
The opposite way, Davis fielded by Wilhelm onto first, but Gilmore can't hang on. Leadoff man aboard for Huntington.
Coach Carroll going to go right back to the bench there.
The lineup turns over. Top of the lineup with Seth Throckmorton as Oyer will pinch run for Davis.
Oyer just uses the re-entry rule there. Try to eliminate Davis from the card, but Davis finds a way on.
Throckmorton 1 for 2 with a walk. Tripled in the third inning. Breaking ball misses 1-0. 92 pitches now for Edwards. Another breaking ball this time finds the strike zone, 1-1.
Well, Huntington got exactly what they wanted. They got the base runner out of the 9-hole. Now you get Throckmorton and McDonald up.
As Edwards fights back, 1-2. One and two popped out to center. Hunter needs a couple steps to the right. One away. Now the freshman Junior McDonald. 3 for 3 with 3 singles.
Again, Edwards doing a good job attacking the zone.
Edwards works ahead, 0-2 to McDonald. McDonald popped up into foul ground. Abner giving chase, but it's into the Huntsman's dugout.
Again, Abner trying to really gut it up for his team here. They end up running for him. That time he comes out of there and he waves the dugout off, but I could tell when he was coming in third base earlier that certainly pulled something there. Way ahead here, McDonald. Aggressive hitter, try to expand the zone on him. Good job of fighting that one off. Again, if he can find his way on here, this thing could get really interesting.
Breaking ball misses upstairs. It's 1-2. One-two, swing and a miss. Half dozen strikeouts for Edwards as Huntington is now down to their final out.
Big time pitch when he needed it the most against a really good hitter. Just again, with a good young hitter, when you get way ahead, what you want to try to do there is expand the zone, see if he'll help you a little bit. And he dropped one of his best breaking pitches of the day. Now 1 out away.
Now the left fielder, Matthew Jordan. 0 for 1 with a sac bunt and a walk. Struck out in the first inning. 1-0 from Edwards, a called strike, throw down to first, not in time. Oyer back in safely.
Still with Elliott on deck, Lowry in the hole, still far from over if Huntington can keep this thing going.
Breaking ball from Edwards misses. It's 2-1. Two-one grounded left side. Collins across the diamond to first, and that'll do it. The Eastern Eagles go back-to-back and are district champions once again.
Great job. They fall behind early. They stay with it. They left the bases loaded once, left a couple men on, still trailed 3-0. But, man, once they broke through, did they ever, with 8 runs there back in the bottom of the 4th. Proves to be the difference in this one. And congratulations to Coach Stewart and his Eastern Eagles.
9-6 the final. We'll take a break and come back for the Bucs score and some final thoughts after game 3 of 4 here this afternoon at VA Memorial Stadium. You've been watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Richard. Countless nights in the garage. 8 shiny new pistons. 1 very happy 16-year-old granddaughter. And 2 years since starting cancer treatment at Ohio Health.
If there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon. That's the slogan, and that's what we believe at Par Mar stores. From groceries to gas and all the other stuff you need, Par Mar has it. Download the Par Mar app for even more savings, and don't forget the Par Mar rewards card too. We also believe in being a big part of your community, so look for us at the ball game or wherever you are. Shop us today, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and remember, if there's not a Par Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
Back here in Chillicothe, 9-6 the final. A come-from-behind district title win for the Eagles to go back-to-back. Last year in Division 4, this year in Division 7. First game we had a lead change.
It is the first time we've had a lead change, and you've been talking a lot about that, you know, playing out in front and the momentum. Not very many teams been able to fight back, and Eastern certainly been able to do that, overcoming the 3-0 deficit, and they explode for the 8. And as you mentioned, they win the district title Division 4 last year, now Division 6 this year. And
Division 6.
And obviously they're ready to roll. They're going to come back to the regional level next week with Rockhold back on the mound, and going to give them a great opportunity to win.
So we'll go through the box score statistically. We'll start with Huntington. On offense, Seth Throckmorton goes 1 for 3. Junior McDonald 3 for 4 with 3 singles, also drove in a run. Braden Elliott goes 0 for 2, but he knocked in a pair. Landon Lowry 1 for 3 with an RBI. Frankie Hirsch goes 0 for 3, but drove in a run, and that's more or less everything statistically. Andrew McKnight also scored a run for the Huntsmen. For Eastern, Ethan Edwards goes 1 for 3 with an RBI. Aiden Wilhelm goes 2 for 4, 2 runs driven in. Alex Collins also 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. Caleb Abner goes 1 for 2. Parker Dersch scored a run. Rowan Gilmore 2 for 4 with an RBI. Brady Rockhold goes 1 for 4, 1 run driven in. Hunter Needs 2 for 2, 2 RBI. Blaise Gilmore goes 1 for 4, and Lance Hensler goes 1 for 3. On the mound, Ethan Edwards goes the distance. Man, it's been a long day. Gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 6 strikeouts for Edwards in a district title winning effort.
Yeah, I thought he was terrific. I thought he really bulldogged through. I thought coming into the game, the top of the scouting report had to be the ability to get Throckmorton and McDonald out. And you think about it, early in the game, they didn't. And that caused a lot of problems on the bases. Huntington, as a result, lead at 3-0. Once Eastern breaks the thing open a little bit at 8-3. Huntington comes right back, and that 6th inning, It'd be interesting to ask Coach Stewart. I would say that Edwards is probably down to almost his last batter. Remember, I was saying that you had a tough decision to make if he loses one more batter, he gets out of it. And as a result, then in the 7th inning, I thought he was a lot cleaner and was able to bulldog to the end and get through it for his team.
So Eastern will move on to the regional semifinal. That's at Beavers Field in Lancaster on June 4th. I believe that is next Wednesday. 5 p.m. first pitch. They'll have the winner of Southeastern and Waterford. That district final tomorrow at 5 p.m.
So the two Southeast District teams come out together then.
I believe so, yes.
Interesting.
Now in Division 7, that is not the case. Is the winner of our next game, South Webster and Southern. They'll have Strasburg Franklin.
Number 28, Carson Smith.
So back-to-back district title wins for the Eastern Eagles. A come-from-behind effort as they trailed 3-0, but an 8-run 4th inning pushed them to an 8-3 lead. Huntington fought back, made it 8-6 before Eastern added one more on in the 6th, made it 9-6, which ultimately ended up being the final. As Ethan Edwards, for the final 4 innings of the game, was able to keep the Huntsmen off the board.
Number 11, Carson Henneberg.
Overall, early on, I thought Eastern played a little sloppy, especially by their standard in the first couple innings. Made some errors, maybe ended up throwing through some cuts, allowing guys to move up. And once they settled into the game, I thought they played a much cleaner game. And then obviously when the offense got going in the 4th, you could see it in their body language. The confidence went up, and they break it open to the 8-3. And Huntington comes back at them, as Huntington does. That's what Huntington does. They just keep coming at you. And Edwards was able to find a way to slam the door shut.
That'll wrap it up for our coverage of Game 3. We will keep the broadcast going until the conclusion of the trophy ceremony. But the Eastern Eagles, with their 2nd consecutive district title, the 4th in the head coaching career of Chris Stewart, now with 2 apiece between Athens and Eastern. Game 4, South Webster and Southern coming up. First pitch originally scheduled for 7 p.m. Going to be a little later than that. Expect a 7:15 to 7:20 first pitch in that Division 7 district title game. For Game 3 of our quadruple header, that'll wrap it up. For Shane Combs, I'm Dewey Daly saying so long from VA Memorial Stadium. You've been watching Ohio High School District Tournament Baseball on Southern Ohio Sports Authority, presented by Ohio Health.
Matthew Jordan. And number 6, Seth Throckmorton. Head coach Chad Carroll and his staff. And now, will the captains of the Huntsmen please come forward for the presentation of your team trophy. Congratulations, Huntsmen, on an outstanding season. And now, for the 2025 District Champions Division 6, the Eastern Eagles. Number 22, Mason Shepard. Number 20, Dawson King. Number 18, Braylon Johnson. Number 9, Braxton Yonker. Number 8, Trey Mugrave. Number 7, Parker Durst. Number 5, Clayton Moore. Number 3, Lance Hensler. Number 13, Lane Aycock. Number 19, Blaze Gilmore. Number 16, Hunter Needs. Number 1, Brady Rocco. Number 30, Rowan Gilmore. Number 10, Caleb Abner. Number 4, Ethan Edwards. Number 2, Aiden Wilhelm. And number 11, Alex Collins. Head coach Chris Stewart and his staff. Now, will the captains for the Eagles please come forward for the presentation of the team trophy. Congratulations to the Eagles, who will now advance to the regional semifinal at Beavers Field in Lancaster to be played on June 4th at 6 p.m. Thank you to the Chillicothe Paints and Chad Jenkins for serving as a host of this district championship. Thank you for your attendance and support of the Ohio High School student athletes, and please travel home safely. We would also appreciate any help with trash as you exit property, and also be aware of the strict 20-mile-per-hour speed limit while leaving the VA campus. Thank you.